Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Sheffield United match reaction. We've just watched Sheffield United draw 0-0 with Hull City at Bramall Lane. What have I got to say about that? I've wrote loads of stuff down to say. I may not say it all if I'm being completely honest. I set off for work at probably about 6:30 this morning, and I've only just walked in the house about 10 minutes ago at about 11:15. So yeah, it's been a long old day. The Blades could have given us something to shout about, but it wasn't to be. It was one of those frustrating evenings. Hull City certainly had a few chances, lots of long-range shots, but yeah, it really didn't seem like it was one of those games that was going to have any goals in it whatsoever. I honestly thought that from early on. I thought one goal was going to win this game, but yeah, like I say, it wasn't to be. These are the games where I hope that everybody out there appreciates this channel and these videos, because we don't half put the effort in when we don't really need to. We really do. So here we go. So 10th minute, big chance, which at the time I didn't expect this to be a massive chance, but Jack Robinson at the back stick, Norwood with a fantastic free kick. I think it was Norwood anyway, curling in, and he heads it wide. Just needs to get it on target, make the keeper make a save. 15 minutes in, and died. The ball's in the box. It's kind of it's looping towards him. He's literally stood probably closer to the goal than the penalty spot, and he tries to bring it down with his head. It's like, not sure what else he could have done there, whether to let it drop and volley it or try and take it on the chest, but he tries to kind of like almost seal dribble it into the net, and he kind of tries to head it onto him to try and shoot, I believe. And yeah, it wasn't to be. Ball gets cleared away. 27th minute, one of the biggest attempts, or should we say chances of the game, right in the middle of the box. Ball is played into Morgan Gibbs-White. He's got all the time in the world, has a shot. I guarantee that would have ended up in the back of the net if it didn't get deflected. It's one of those games that against West Brom, Billy Sharp had a shot, took a massive deflection, went in. This game was one of those games where those things weren't going to happen for us. And yeah, big deflection off one of the Hull City lads' backs, and then loops over the crossbar. So they get away with it. We should have really put that in the back of the net. So Morgan Gibbs-White, I think maybe a couple of months ago when he was flying, that would have ended up in the back of the net, whether it be off a player's back or him just smashing the ball past the goalkeeper. 35th minute, Ndai shooting from an angle straight over the bar, though, just not on target at all, which is quite frustrating. 40th minute, McBurney one-on-one with the goalkeeper at an angle, hits it straight at him, straight at his chest. Good save by Ingram, but straight at his chest. Like, he's a big goalkeeper, but when you're kind of one-on-one in that situation, with not a lot to aim at, whatever you do not aim straight at the goalkeeper's chest. Now, big chest to aim at, but you've got to try and put it in the front post or got to try and find the back post. But no, straight at the goalkeeper. It was one of them where, from where I was sat on the south stand, that it looked like it was in. But obviously, it's one of them that you hit and then it kind of ricochets off the goalkeeper, but it actually looked like it were going in. But again, wasn't to be. Another ball into the box where McBurney heads it. I think he headed it over when he was stretching. So we go into half-time, 0-0. Yeah, frustrating. We had some really good chances. That Morgan Gibbs-White one and the one-on-one for McBurney, the two big chances of the game. And we really should have been 2-0 up just from those. Hull City had a couple of chances. One from the left-hand side coming in onto his right. It might have been Lewis Potter. I'm not sure who it was. Lewis Potter, by the way, fantastic player. Tries to curl it into the far corner. Again, not sure if it was Lewis Potter, but tries to find that bottom corner. It wasn't. It was nowhere near. It was nowhere near. Wes looked unsure, to be fair, so he dived at full stretch, but It was nowhere near. On the right-hand side, ball bobbling around. It gets knocked out, I think, from Baldock out to one of their players on the right-hand side, hits it straight across the box. Luckily, I was sat right behind it and could see that it was never going in, but it was really, really close. Really good hit. In the 50th minute, in the second half, McBurney, the Hull City fans were really, really shouting for McBurney handball in the box, hoping for a penalty. I do think it was a bit close, and it possibly did come off his arm, but at the same time, when it's so close, it's probably not going to be given. The referee wasn't giving anything tonight. There was quite a few where, like in the reverse fixture, where Hull City players were trying to wrestle us to the ground, especially in the first half. I think in the second half, Hull City realised that these aren't scoring in a month of Sundays, so there's no point in doing that to them. But when you're at the game, it's different. You can't really watch every player in the box. You're kind of just watching the ball come into the box. But when you're watching that on the TV, like some people will have done, you'll have seen little things. So you've seen like maybe somebody get wrestled to the ground, but it's difficult when you're there and you're watching the ball coming into the box. You obviously don't see where the Sky cameras go to. So obviously when the ball is ready to be put into the box, the Sky cameras will go to certain players that are getting manhandled and they'll show it you. But I couldn't tell you what happened there, but a fair few times when the ball came into the box, especially in that first half, we were getting wrestled to the ground. McBurney, a really, really tame shot after Morgan Gibbs-White flicked the ball back to him. That was the story of his day, to be honest. Lots and lots of tame shots. On the 56th minute, this was the biggest chance of the whole game for me. 3-on-1. Hull City corner. It gets knocked out and then we somehow come away with the ball. McBurney to Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White, McBurney and Iliman Ndiaye. 3-on-1 Hull City defender. Gibbs-White did everything right. Carried the ball. Carried it. And then lays it off to Ndiaye. Very, very similar situation to the West Brom game where 𝐍𝐸 carried it, flicked it into him. He had a lot more time against West Brom, a lot more goal to aim at. This one, he was kind of going out wide slightly, but you've got to be putting them away. You've got to be putting one-on-ones away. Iliman Ndiaye, I love the guy. I think he's a fantastic talent. He's going to be a very, very good player in the future. He is now, but he's got to be putting his chances away when he gets them. Now, I think he does when he gets a snapshot or he's in the box and he's like, oh, just needs to flick that header in or just needs to get a toe on that or just needs to guide that in. But when it's a one-on-one and he's got too much time to think about it, he just seems to fluff his lines. And that was a big one. Ingram's a big guy and he's coming out to kind of try and foil him. You've just got to lift it over him. I know it's easy said than done. And I know that if I was in that situation, maybe I wouldn't have done even as good as Ndiaye. But at the same time, he can see that he's coming out. You've got to do something. You can't just hit the ball straight at the goalkeeper. You've either got to try and take it round him, put it in the front post, flick it over him. You've got to do something different than hitting it straight at him. 2 one-on-ones that Ndiaye's missed in 2 home fixtures. And the first one didn't matter at West Brom because we won 2-0. This one mattered. And again, it's another big miss. 57th minute, straight after, McBurney got absolutely poleaxed in the box by one of their players. Not 100% sure because obviously when you're there, you don't have the instant replays. But it looked to me like he got absolutely just jumped all over. But the referee wasn't giving anything. Let's be honest. We got a Ollie Norwood got brought down on the edge of the box. Who'd have thought it? Ollie Norwood being so far forward, right on the edge of the box, just about to pull the trigger or lay the ball off, gets brought down. And then I'm expecting Howrahan to take it anyway because it looks slightly right of centre. But it was a good free kick. I'm not sure how it got deflected wide. It looked like it was going in. But at the same time, I just want him to hit it. I don't know why Ndiaye needed to flick that back. I'm not blaming Ndiaye. Obviously, they've probably worked on that. But I don't know. I just feel like if someone's flicking a ball to you, you've got more chance of hitting a ball from the spot, not rolling better than you are when someone rolls it to you. I don't know. I don't know. Fair enough. But yeah, it wasn't to be. It took a big deflection and went wide, only just wide though. So yeah, that was another close one. Morgan Gibbs White had a volley. Hull had a curling shot wide, which was very, very close. Sander hit a low cross in that Ingram fumbled, went out for a corner again. And then from a corner in the 86th minute, McBurney heads over the bar. And that's really all she wrote. So I'm not going to bang on about it too much more, to be honest. I'll quickly run through the team. Wes had nothing to do, really. Everything that he had to do was like kind of go and fetch the ball after a Hull City player had hit it wide. Baldock, not one of his best games in all honesty. Gutted about Bogle not playing, not sure whether that's an injury or whether that is COVID or something like that. But yeah, we missed Bogle massively tonight on that right-hand side. I love George Baldock to bits, but he's certainly not, apologies, it certainly wasn't a game for Baldock in my opinion, because he's obviously not as good going forward as Bogle. Reece Davies didn't have a bad game, actually, but saying that, we were on the attack constantly. So he had a lot of ball down that left-hand side, especially in that second half, getting down that wing and then actually doing something with it for a change, which is great to see. Bash brought the ball out great. I thought Jack Robinson also got forward a lot, which we've not seen too much of Jack Robinson. And you know what? I quite like Jack Robinson when he goes forward. I think sometimes he needs a little bit more confidence when going forward. But no, I thought he had a decent game. Egan, as always, very strong at the back. I thought the three defenders played really well. Norwood had a good kind of first half an hour, and then he just seemed to give the ball away for the rest of the game. He had a really, really weird second half where at one point he gave the ball away, won it back, and then gave the ball away again. It was really, really odd to see. It was a bit of a weird game for Nord. Like I said, some parts of it really good, some parts of it really poor. Howrahan, I thought, did all right. Yeah, didn't set the world alight, but put some good crosses in there. Obviously had that shot that got deflected wide. Always looks good on the ball. Morgan Gibbs White getting back to full fitness. He was better tonight, but still not the Morgan Gibbs White that we'd grown to kind of love. Still not quite sharp enough for me, but some fantastic turns that he does that nobody else can do. Him and Ndai together, they play some great, great football. And for me, for Ndai, I don't think he had a good game again today. I think it was his worst game against West Brom. But today, not as bad, but still could have been a hell of a lot better. So Ndai, he's not having a good time of it of late for me. Obviously, another one-on-one miss, which is not good to see. He needs to be putting them away. And once he puts one away, he'll get that confidence and he'll just come on leaps and bounds. McBurney wasn't the right choice for me, if I'm being completely honest. I thought he did okay. Lots of sloppy passing. Decent in the air enough. But again, he's had a one-on-one that he needs to score. He really does. It was harder than Ndai's, in my opinion, but you've got to find a corner. You can't just hit it at the goalkeeper. It's not good enough. I think Billy Sharp coming on, I think he showed more, to be honest. When he was on, he was hassling. He was getting on that last man. He was trying to push them back. He was trying to hold it up. Billy Sharp, I thought, had a really good game when he came on. I think if he'd have got a chance, he'd have put the ball in the back of the net. I really, really do think that. Sander looked good down that right-hand side, but it's almost like he can't play football until he gets down that right wing and uses his body and move and kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. I've never seen a player that gets the ball and he's so strong on the ball when he's kind of going down the wing. He's got no pace whatsoever. I just feel like he needs a rocket up his backside sometimes, Sanderberger. But yeah, when he came on, he did okay down that right-hand side, but none of the crosses were finding anyone. McBurney wasn't getting in good enough positions most of the game. And when Sharp came out, they don't play well together, Sharp and McBurney. And in all honesty, what I'd have done, I'd have brought on Jebbo instead of, I'd have brought off McBurney because he didn't really offer us that much today. And I'd have brought on Jebbo just to give him a run out and see if he can do something, prove everybody wrong, Jebbo, because it seems like Hecky is saying that he's not quite up to speed. He's used to League One football and he's not up to speed with the lads. Just give him a run out. Literally 10 minutes. The Hull City players have been playing for 80 minutes. Give him 10 minutes. They're going to be tired. Doesn't matter if he's not up to match speed with how quick the Championship is. Just throw him on. Give him a chance. That's what we did in the Premier League. He certainly wasn't up to Premier League standard when he played against Everton, and when he played the following games after that, scored a goal. He was putting himself about. Give him a chance. Just give him a chance, Hecky. I'm going to go into the comments and then I'm going to leave it for now. It's it's a tough one tonight. I just want to get to bed, in all honesty. I thought it was going to be 0-0 from early too, and I can't understand bringing Jebbo back and not playing him. Exactly that. Strike force questionable. Jebbo and Sharp should have started tonight. What's your take on Jebbo not getting a chance? I've literally just mentioned it, James. I know that comment came in a lot earlier, but yeah, that's what I think, mate. McBurney would not. Okay, Scott. Okay, fair enough. I like that. Very poor performance. If we can't win these types of games, it's not much hope for McBurney. For me, he was terrible. Wow, that is a scathing comment from Andrew there. I'm not disagreeing with it either. Silly stuff today. Not taking his chances, possibly. Bernie Pal will get his legs. I can feel it. I hope you're right, mate, but this was his game tonight. He got knocked about a little bit, I think, at times. He also knocked him about himself. But if that's what he's been brought in to do, he didn't do it well enough for me. One positive was Reece Dorrington-Davies had his best match in a Blade shirt. You are right, Paul. You are absolutely right, because he knows that for me, if I was a left wing back and Hecky decided to play a right wing back who hasn't got a left foot at left wing back, I'd be embarrassed. And he wasn't even in the squad and he was fit. So that's obviously give him a kick up the backside. Why did he not but put Jebbo on? But he shouldn't be. Yeah, I get that, Andrew. I get that. We've brought Jebbo back for cover. He's not really there to start games. He's not. But when you say cover, he needs to be coming on as a sub. He really does. Even Nick, the officials ruined the game. All the time wasting from the first injury to the last. Absolutely. It was so frustrating. But we know what Hull City bring to football games, don't we? They're just trying to stay in the league. And fair enough, they were celebrating a 0-0 draw or a 0-0 win, you could say, for them. I don't like that. And do you know what? I don't care who you are. You should never really celebrate a 0-0 draw. Wednesday did it. Wednesday came to Bramall Lane and celebrated a 0-0 draw. Hull City certainly did that today as well. I don't like it. If we went to Man City and drew 0-0, I still don't think I'd be celebrating it. Even backs to the walls. 22 shots and 3 on target says it all. Dave Gill, you are absolutely right, my friend. Absolutely right. Personally, I think it is pointless bringing Jebbo back. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. I agree, Nick. Hull should switch from EFL to WWF, as they are clearly pro wrestlers. The Illiman 2 chances in the last 2 games, I think Moose would have scored both. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. He does need to get his composure better. He absolutely does. Tough gig tonight. Any other day, it would have been 4-0. I agree. Some Twitter blades are nuts. Swansea next will still well and truly in it, and playoffs are ours to lose. I agree. We've got so many games at home that surely we're going to win a lot of them, you would think. Maybe not on tonight's performance, but we get that. You get them every now and then when you just can't put the ball in the back of the net. Do you know what? In the next game, we'll probably score after 5 minutes, and we're like, oh, why couldn't we have scored that in the last game? Frustrating, really frustrating. But yeah, we do move on. Bogle was missing today. I love Baldock, but Bogle brings something different going forward. He really, really does. Jackie Longthrow is getting better and better each game. Yes, definitely. Good one. Berger on with Norwood from the start. Possibly. Really miss you guys in the Premier League. Thank you very much. Hal doesn't do these videos. I don't think this game was right for Jebo. Fair enough. Let us know why you think that, Daniel. Totally agree, Nick. Jebo should have got a go. We need to get shut of McNerney. Fair enough. Fair enough. Benny hasn't even scored double digits for us during his time at United. That is really, really tough to hear that. It really is. We've been on a roll. Then McBurney starts the next 2 games. We don't score. That is a great point, James. Great point. Obviously, it's not just because of McBurney, but it's funny that that's the case. It really, really is. We don't need him. Brings very little to the team. Rather see Jebo play. I agree. Norwood very poor. Back to same old. I disagree with that, Alex, mate. I think Norwood just had a bad game tonight. He literally runs everything. And when Norwood doesn't play well, I don't think we play well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this, guys. 70 people in the stream, and it's nearly midnight. I really, really appreciate that. If you haven't liked the video already, if you're in the stream right now, please make sure you do so on Facebook, on Twitch, especially on YouTube. If you appreciate what we do, just leave a like on it. Leave a nice comment. Leave a like. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.